Good evening, everybody, and welcome to SmartFX. This is Almas here. I am your host for your free life webinar today. All right. I hope you all are doing well and you'll have good plans for your weekends as well. So without wasting our time and going ahead and talking about the subject that I've chosen today is fundamental news. All right. And I'll be elaborating it and talking about it. Before that, let me give you a bit introduction about our company, that is Smart Forex Broker. You can also follow up us on social media. We're there on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. We have a YouTube channel and also on Pinterest. The number mentioned below, which is 527579653. It's a direct chat number with our customer service, where in case if you have any query, you can connect us there directly. All right. And some details about myself. I am in this industry from last good 5 years. All right. And over a period of time, my company has realized it that, I should take an initiative and start a webinar session to share the knowledge to the clients of SmartFX. And I really appreciate that, because our main objective or the motto is that any client that comes to SmartFX family should learn first, and then the ahead earning can be done. All right. Similarly, my WhatsApp number is also mentioned, which is 555286954. And you can also follow me on LinkedIn. All right. You can take a note of it just in case if you have any queries, you can directly message me and I will be definitely there to help you out. All right, so without wasting more of our time into introduction, let us get back to the subject, where I'll be talking about fundamental news. All right, now what exactly the fundamental news is, like, you must have come across people that who will say that, you have to keep a track on technical things, you have to keep a track on news and stuff like that. Now, what exactly is it and how it is going to work? I'm going to elaborate it and I'm going to talk about it. So these are the four important strategies that, as a new trader, if you enter a market, these are the four important strategy. If you understand them, you will be able, and if you apply them in your trading, it will be easy for you to trade, because it will give you an analyst and it will help you out that how you can track the market. All right. In my very first session, if you have already attended it, I have already briefed about fundamental analysis, sentimental analysis, technical analysis, and risk management. Risk management was a proper subject which I had discussed, and I've given all the details about it. However, talking about fundamental, sentimental, and technical analysis, I have not elaborated it. And eventually I came across a few of people, where they were asking me questions in regards to news. And that is where I got an idea that, this is the subject that I should talk about, because there is a possibility that not everybody, or, most of them are not aware about it. How does this actually work? All right. So now let's talk about fundamental analysis. Now, fundamental analysis is also known as macro analysis. Now, we are going to act as like a central bank. All right. So when I say that we're going to discuss about fundamental analysis, that is macro analysis, what will happen? We're going to understand how the central bank works, and this will help you to understand how the market works, and you can apply the strategy in your trade and do it. Okay, now a lot of people get confused that fundamental news, fundamental analysis is all about trading the news. When I say trading the news, it doesn't mean that you switch on your TV, go on the news channel, or go to your Google and check your news. No, it is not that. News is a part of fundamental analysis. So it is just a part of it. All right. It is not completely related to fundamental analysis. So what are we going to do? We're going to get into depth with what exactly is fundamental analysis. Now, there are few components that are involved in fundamental analysis, which is, I said, is the central bank. All right, here it is. Then we have the economic indicators, and that it should make sense to it. Now, consider yourself as a central bank. Now, every country has a central bank. All right, every country. So like let's say RBA, that is for Reserve Bank of Australia, Bank of Japan, that is the central bank for Japan. When it comes to United States, it is is Federal Reserve. When it comes to ECB, it is for the European Central Bank. So every country has their own central bank. All right. So today, what we are going to do, we are going to understand the role of the central bank. And then, as a central bank, what tools are required? Okay, what tools are used to indicate, to impact the Forex market? We are going to discuss about that. Next, as a central bank, what do we get? We get economic indicators. Now, imagine everybody is here is working, right? We are in Dubai, so everybody either has a business or we are working. So let's say if you are working, there is a hierarchy that you follow. So what you have is like you have your boss to manage you. Or let me make it very much simple. Let's say consider a school, right? You know, children goes to school and there is somebody to manage them, their teacher or the principal. So what are they doing? They are analyzing you. They are managing the children. See whether the performance of the children is good. Is he doing well or not? Is she performing good or is she not? Similarly, central bank or in our fundamental analysis, how do we do is like we have economic indicators. There are multiple of indicators that will help you out to analyze, to get the KPI, the objectives, so that you can manage the performance of the currency, whether it is good for the country, whether it is good or it is bad, which will help you out in Forex trading. Next comes, now I said that once the economic indicator is done, all these things should make sense. When I say that it should make sense, it means that once you have analyzed and once you have studied the indicator, when you are applying it to your trade, it should make sense and it should give you the result. All right. So again, how does it work? Macro analysis, we consider first comes the central bank. Every country has their central bank, and then there is economic indicator, which will help us to manage the performance. And all these things together applied will help us in our trading. Now, there are 8 important, there are 8 major central banks today, which I have mentioned here. Like now, if you are an individual who is a trader already, and if you're trading into Forex currencies, this might be very helpful for you all. So if you want, you can take a picture of it, or you can actually note it down if you're writing it down. These are some important 8 major central banks today, which I told you initially when I started the subject. So again, US details, US Fed is bank is US Federal Reserve Bank, the central bank for the United States. For European Central Bank, it is EUR is the European Central Bank, GBP is Bank of England, JPY is Bank of Japan, CHF is Swiss National Bank, CAD is Bank of Canada, AUD is Reserve Bank of Australia, and NZD is Reserve Bank of New Zealand. So these are the 8 major central banks today. So if you are a person who is trading into Forex currencies, it will help you a lot to keep a track on the specific country bank to give you an idea what fundamental analysis is. Now, what do you want to know about this bank is what are the objectives of this bank? Like, you know, how does it work? How does it help you in the trade? Okay. In simple language, what this means is like, if the economy is too strong, the central bank needs to step in and prevent the hyperinflation. Now, if the economy is too weak, the central bank needs to step in to prevent the recession. Now, I will elaborate this, what exactly does this means. Okay. Now, once we have discussed the objectives of the bank, let me just tell you. What comes here is the price stability. Okay, just give me a minute. What comes here is the price stability. Now, how are you going to assume this price stability? Price stability means if the inflation, inflation, what is inflation? Let us understand that. I'm sure not everybody here in this webinar session will know exactly what inflation is. So let me just elaborate what exactly inflation is and what does it mean. So take an example that, uh, 10 years back, a cup of karak chai was 1 dirham. And today, the price for the same karak chai might be 2 dirhams or 3 dirhams. What has happened is, like, eventually over a period of time, the price for the same thing has increased. So it means that the price has gone up. There is an inflation. Similarly, taking another example, 10 years back, consider the price for petrol. 10 years back, it was 1 dirham. 1 liter petrol used to cost 180. But the same petrol today, if you consider, it is 3 dirhams. So what has happened? There is an inflation. There is an increase in the price. And what happens is, like, this impacts, this is one of the way it impacts the country. Okay. Now, for the entire economy, the other way also, vice versa. Now, if the economy is too weak, what happens? The central bank needs to step in to prevent the recession. Now, I said that, if the prices rises up every year, it means there is too much of inflation happening. Similarly, if there is no money coming in, it means, or people are not spending it, it means there is a recession coming in. Now, for the entire economy to grow, there is a need of inflation. But at the same time, definitely, you cannot have a very high inflation rate. You need to balance it. So now consider yourself that you are a central bank. Everybody consider that you are a central bank and you need to maintain the rate so that the economy is completely balanced. So if you have a pen and a paper, note it down. It is very important to note it down that as a central bank, your target rate, to balance the inflation and the recession, to balance that the economy is going smooth, the percentage is just 2%. So it means every year prices should not grow more than 2% for the entire economy, so that the economy is running smoothly. Now, back in 2020, when COVID had just in back 2020, during COVID and lockdown, all the businesses were closed. All right. Everything was down. Now that is where the inflation fell down. That is where it was affected, which means that the economy was not doing good. It was not doing good. It was a time of a recession. So because everything was closed down, people were removed from work, businesses were closed down. There was a fear in the market that anything can happen. I have to save my money. So there was a recession going on. Now, this 2% of the high rate, interest rate. Now, this is standard for every central bank of the country. So I have mentioned there are so many banks, there are 8 major banks. So this 2%, every bank sets a target of just 2%. Second, now, what is the objective of this? Now, as a central bank, you need to ensure that people are employed. Okay, there is sufficient job in the market. Okay, businesses are going good, returns are coming in, currency flow is good. Now, when the recession, when there is a recession, the bank comes in, the central banks comes in. Okay. Now the other way. Now, if everything is working smooth and extremely employment rate is high, there's too much of jobs opening in the market, everything is there. Again, the central banks comes in. So both the scenarios, the central banks comes in to balance the situation. So I will also discuss about few central bank case study, all right, where we will go in deep and understand that how exactly the central bank works, all right. Now, as said, there are three important things that the central bank needs to follow. So for to make it very simple, is inflation good or is recession bad? Is this the correct answer? Ask yourself. So sometimes inflation is good, sometimes recession. Why? Because at the end of the day, we need to balance the economy. And as a central bank plays a very important role and enters the market to manage the economy. Again, coming back to the previous example, that in 2020, there was a recession period. Everything globally was not good. Not like specifically one country, the whole entire world was facing this issue. So you see, it was not good, right? Now, if the economy is too good and healthy, then also it is not good, as means that there will be hyperinflation. Going to my previous slide, what does that mean? Hyperinflammation. Hyperinflammation means, I gave you an example of a karak chai. So what happens is, a karak chai 10 years back was 1 dirham. Maybe after few years, it goes to 2 dirhams. Now, maybe after few years, it will go to 5 dirhams. It means constantly there is a hike in the price. You see, if you also see the prices of the petrol, last month it was somewhere around few months back, it was 4 dirhams. So, you know, it was controlled. So if there is a hyperinflammation, what happens is like it creates panic in the market. Everything goes, people go stressed that, you know, everything is becoming very expensive. And I'm sure now at this point of time, we are in a situation where people think about it and they don't want to spend so much of money because there is a hyperinflation going on. So as a role of a central bank, what I need to do is to balance. The idea is that we balance the hyperinflammation. Again, consider yourself as a central bank. Now, as a central bank, you have certain objectives, certain KPIs that you need to follow to reach your goal. Now, to reach your goal, what is the first thing that you have to understand is the interest rate. Now, what exactly the interest rate does? As I said, that interest rate is 2%. Now, government, let's say the government, what it will do is like the government for some reason of that particular country will increase the interest rate. Now, let's say the report, if you check for the month of, we will do a case study later on. Let's say if you are already following up fundamental analysis and if you have checked the report of November, probably you will see that the interest rate has gone exceptionally high comparatively to the previous month. So what does that indicate? It indicates that there has been increase and increase and increase in the interest rate. Okay. So as a central bank, what you will do is like, you will play with the rate of interest in when there is inflation or when there is recession. I will give you an example of this. Okay. So consider that, let me talk about the example later on. Let's come to the second objective. What is the second objective of the central bank? Second objective is quantitative easing. What is quantitative easing? It very simple language. It means printing money. It is a method that wherein the government will, the central bank will pump in money and print in money to get better for the economy. So in very simple word, QE stands, quantitative easing means printing money. The third thing that the central bank does, what is the objective? It will give out, or there will be speeches. If you are following me or if you are a client of SmartFX, you might be getting details from your relationship officer that, you know, today there is this report, today there is this release, data is going to release. So as a speaker, they speak in a code language, which is, you know, they will come up and they will analyze the market, is the rates are going to go up or the rates are going to go down. So language speak in dovish or hawkish. When you say speaking in dovish, it means that the rates are going to go down. And when you say hawkish, it means the rates are going to, interest rates are going to rise up. Now, why central banks meetings are important? Every few months, central bank members hold meeting to study the economy data over the past few weeks to raise, to drop, or to hold on the interest rates. Why is it important? So that the economy is balanced. So we know that, there is no too much of expenditure going on, or no, there is lack of money in the particular country. So now how do we know that what are banks doing? We don't know that what is going on or what central bank is doing. So do we have to study bank every day? No, we have our own job to do. So how do you expect that we are going to study? So the answer is no, we don't have to study bank every day. What all you have to do is, like, to understand, you have to read about central bank details. There is a data release every month, which you can actually check. I will show you where, and you can read them and find out that what is the rate, or what are they assuming, or what is the previous one, all the data of the particular bank. Okay. Now, every month, bank will have this meeting. Some might even have it once, 3 times in a month. Some might have it weekly. So every country bank, a central bank, decides how they are going to have the meeting. Now, again, it is not every day, but it is very important that what the banks are doing. As a trader, it is very important to know what is happening in the market. Technical is one part when you see charts and you understand, but fundamental analysis will also give you a very impact. It will be very impactful on your trade, especially if you are trading currencies. This will help you out to understand the psychology of the particular country, what it indicates, whether it is good or it is bad. Okay. So generally, if in simple words, if the currency rates, if the interest rates are high, in the speaker language, when the central bank's language, if it is hawkish, why am I using this specific word? Is like, because when the report comes or when there is a speech, these are the code words that the speaker used. So you should understand that these are the words which will help you to understand, okay, he said hawkish, it means the rates are going to go up. He said dovish, it means the rates are going to go down. All right. So when the rates are high, it means that the currency of that particular country is going to strengthen. If the rate goes down, it means that the currency of that particular country is going to weaken. Hold interest rate, it means there is no change. The decision is just what it was. Now, if you can take a picture of this, do take a picture of it, or if you can note it down, whatever is convenient. With your phone, take a picture of it, because this is very important and it will give you a better and a very clean idea that how does a cycle of economy works. All right. Now, if the economy of the country is good, it means all the full stock market is going up. Everything is going, whatever you have invested is going up. The employment rate is high. See here, what happens? The stocks goes up, the employment rate is high. People know employment rate is high, it means there are a lot of jobs available in the market. If the jobs are available in the market, it means people are earning good. When people are earning good, they are ready to spend money. And when they are ready to spend money, it means there is too much of liquidity available in the market. Everywhere the spending is happening. Okay. Now, when the spending is happening, what happens? As a businessman, you know that your business is going good. Consider yourself as an investor. Consider yourself as a businessman. If you know that people are every day coming for a cup of tea, okay, for a cup of tea, which is 1 dirham. Getting back to our previous example of 1 dirham, the correct size 1 dirham, and you see every day the tea is very good and people are coming and spending good amount of money. what do? You will increase it to 1.5, then you will go for 2 dirhams, then you will go for 2.5. In that scenarios, what happens? There is a rise in the inflation. There is a rise in the inflation. And then suddenly one day the person realized that, goodness, there is no increase in the salary, but everything has gone expensive. The same tea, which karak chai, which I was having for 1 dirham, is now 3 dirhams. So people are feared, people are scared. They are not spending their money. Then comes the central bank. So what does the central bank does? The central bank comes in and they increase the interest rate. Now, when they increase the interest rate, if you are an investor, what will you do? If the rate is high, you will prefer to keep your money in that particular bank because you're going to get high interest rate rather than taking a loan because the rate of interest is high. If you take a loan or if you borrow money from the bank, you will have to pay more. So what eventually do as an investor, you will not think of getting into business. You will take that money and you will prefer to put that money in that particular bank because you are going to get good interest rates. Now, not only that, because of the hyperinflation, what happens? Export things becomes very expensive also. We are in Dubai, and as we have different groups of people living in this country, in Dubai, in UAE, and what happens is, like, there are so many things exported. If you go to mall to buy anything, you see one tomato from 10 different countries or one fruit from 10 different countries. So it means the export becomes expensive. So the central bank comes in, the central bank increases the rate. So what happens? The currency for that particular country rises up. So let's say if you are, if I have kept the money in my US bank, okay, Bank of America, I've kept the money there. So what happens eventually? I'm getting good returns. When I'm good returns, it means it is good for the currency. The currency is going up. The currency is going up. But now once the currency goes up, the fear of spending for the people is less. Why? Because the rate has exponentially gone high. There is already too much of inflation in the market. People are scared to spend that money. So what happens? Economy pulls back. Stocks falls down. There is a pressure of spending money. People will think it is okay to save the money. And as an individual, everybody here have faced this issue when there was COVID. It was completely unexpected, completely unbelievable that something like this as a whole world that we'll have to face. And that is a point of time every person has realized. And we were very scared to spend the money. Okay. Eventually, there was a higher unemployment rate. There was no job. Again, what happens? Central bank comes in. What does the central bank comes? The central banks increases the rate or launches QE program. What is a QE program? QE program is the printing money. So what does it? Literally every central bank has a printing machine in their bank to print money. Okay, so they will print money for the betterment of the economy. So if there is too much of money liquidity in the market, it means the value for the currency is dropped down because the currency is easily available in the market. Then what happens? If the currency goes down, what happens? Again, the stock prices goes up. So you see, it's an ecosystem. It goes like a cycle. This is a cycle of economy. And where in both the scenarios, the central bank plays a very important role if there is an inflation or if there is a recession. Sorry. Now, macro meetings. Now, basically, what do they discuss about? What do the central bank discuss, and how, as an individual or as a trader, I should know that these things? How will I know? So, again, briefing in small, again, for the people, making it very simple language, that if the performance of the economy is bad, central bank will lower down the rate and it will affect the currency to depreciate. If you are a trader in Forex currency, take a picture of this keep it to yourself, make it understand. So it will help you to understand when you're trading in that currency, to have whether the currency, if the rate is bad, whether you have to short a position or to long a position. Similarly, if the economic performance is good or strong, what does the central bank does? The central banks increases the rate. There is tightening of money. It means that the flow is not so much because currencies appreciates. Okay. Very, very, very important thing that in our macro analysis or in a fundamental analysis that one should understand. Now, we have certain indicators. There are multiple indicators, like how in technical do we have RSI, we have MACD, we have trend lines. Similarly, in fundamental analysis also, we have economic indicators. Trust me, you don't have to be an economic specialist to get into this, or it is not that hard. It is very easy. It is just if you practice it and if you understand, it will make your things really easy. Okay, now there are certain indicators. These are few indicators which I have mentioned to check if, as said, that if you are already registered with us. Okay, you might be getting messages from our end that today there is a non-farm payroll report, or there is unemployment case, or there is news on consumer price index. All these details, economic indicators, you might be getting from your relationship manager. So these are some important indicators. You can actually follow them. Now, how do you get these indicators? Is like there are a lot of websites. Now, generally people don't know, okay, where to find it. So tradingeconomics.com is one of the website where you can actually find the data of the economy, or what is the result, or what is the interest rate, because this will help you out to keep a track. What was the previous one? What is going to be a new one? All the details of the particular country. So if you want, you can take a note of it or click a picture. Okay, that is tradingeconomics.com. So let's click on the link here. So now you see, if you go to the countries option there, you will get all the countries on this page. Okay, now if you are a forex trader, if you're trading in currencies, let's say if you want to track on US, you can just click on United States, and you see you will get all the details about it. You will get what was stock market rate, what was last time, what was previous one, all the details. How is it? Okay, now let's say the inflation rate. Let's click on the inflation rate. You see the inflation rate was 7.7. It is 7.7 last and 8.2 previously. That was in the month of October. So let's click on the inflation rate and see what is it. So it's written that the annual inflation rate in US has slowed for the fourth month. It is 7.7 in October since January and below forecast. So previously it was how much? It was 8.2, and now in the month of October it was 7.7. Now when you see this, what do you understand is like there is ease in the market, right? Which was it was extremely hyper, which was going on, hyperinflation, it has been reduced a little. Similarly, you can actually go and check for the other countries, whatever you are trading in. Here is the Bank of Japan, you can check. You have the Bank of England, UK, you can go and check. So these are basically the countries that you can actually see, and you can check all the details about the countries, their GDP. Let's go again on United States. You see what is the growth rate for the country, all the details. It was 2.6% in Q3, and beating forecast of 2.4% rise, rebounding from the contraction. So earlier it was 2.4 and now it is 2.6. It means there was an increase. It was again the GDP has gone up. So all these things, what happens is like this will help you to analyze the market. Similarly, you can check all the different countries here. You have most of the countries which is mentioned. If you're a trader in forex currency, this will literally help you out to get the details. All right, this is one of the website. I'm sure you must have taken a picture of it, or please note it down. because it will help you out. Now, the very other common website that we use is the forexfactory.com. All right. Now, this also is very, very helpful because what happens is like this will give you the details about the particular event that is going to happen on that day. All right. So let's say today is 18th October, November 2022. I am going to click here and I'm going to get for all the event dates that is going to happen. So you see today for JPY, there was a national core CPI data. Okay, just hold. Okay, so it will show you what is the actual rate going on, what are the forecast, what was previous one. These are all the dates along with the timings. You see here the PM AM thing. These are the timings that you can see. So now USD, let's say, so they had a report at 7 o'clock. So at 7 o'clock, if you're a person trading in USD, you can actually check the report, the data here, and it will say the number of buildings were sold previously are more or less. So it is saying actually greater than the forecast and it's good for currency. It means again, the dollar is good. It is showing an hawkish moment. So the rates are high. It will also give you a date of the next release when the next data is going to release. So this will help you out to get all the details of the particular country, whatever currencies that you're trading in related to that. You can check all the news here. These are the currencies that you can check. This is the timing. This is the date where you can check. Okay, you can select the date. Now, you can also check the previous data also. Okay, let's see, 15th. So you see important, the red color indicates a very important event. So particularly when these kind of events are there, what does it indicate? That when you're trading, there might be an extreme volatility in the market and anything can happen at any point of time. So at this point of time, if you're a new trader or a newbie to the market, you should not enter the market. All right. But if you're a trader, there are a lot of opportunities. And if you're certain with your analysis, along not only fundamental analysis is one part of it, but also technically, and if you put together and if you think that your analysis and your things are in favor, you can definitely trade. It's a good opportunity for people to make money also. All right, these are the details. You can open the folder, you can check all the details, what is happening. It is given the thing that says specs given over here. All right, and as I said, the rate of interest, what was the actual rate, what is forecasted, what is expected, that is speculated. All right, and what is the previous one. So this is how you can track the details. Again, take a picture of it, all right, or note it down. Forexfactory.com, you can go in the calendar section, you can click there and you can get all the details about it. So I've just taken a picture to show you all that, these are the things that what it indicates, which I already showed you all in the previous slide. Okay. So now what are we going to do is like, we're going to have a quick chat session where where you all can actually jot down your questions on the right hand side on the chat box, and I'll try to answer more of your questions and queries. All right. So let's do that. So Faizan is asking me here how to know what will happen. Price will go up or down before data. So see the website that I've given you, Faizan, the one which I shared and I said take a picture of it. These kind of these kind of website will help you and give you the details of the forecast, what the people are speculating or what is expected, whether it is going to go up. If you check if you have noted down the forexfactory.com in the calendar, you will see the actual, the price and the indicate what are the expecting one. So there you can actually check it, what is going to happen, and that will give you a good idea what the rate of interest would be and whether you want to go for a long position or you want to go for a short position. I hope that is answered, Faizan. Great. All right. So please go ahead and please feel free to ask me any doubts or any questions if you have. So I'm sure that now, I am very much sure that now you exactly know where you can actually go and you can check the details when you get this kind of news in the market. Okay. That, did you check the rate of interest has gone and you go completely blank or what is happening? And, you know, uh, where the things are. So Kishan Singh is saying, no, ma'am, thank you. So you have not understood anything. Is that, Kishan, that what you meant is? Okay, so please go ahead and ask me some few questions that I can, if there is anything in your mind. Other is Komugisha. So, hi Komugisha, pleasure connecting. How can I check to see the central bank of my currency? Same page which I have shared previously. What you can do is, like, if you have not taken the picture or the photo, you can actually the same link will be shared on YouTube as well. So you can actually go on the YouTube channel and you can check the link. Just give me a minute. I will let you know the second link name. Hold on. Here is the second link name, that is tradingeconomic.com in the country. You can go on tradingeconomics.com and check. All right, Kamashkisha. Ketsa is saying all is clear. Great. All right, Ketsa. Great. Also, I have conducted few of my discussions or the webinar previously. So you can actually go check them on the YouTube channel of a SmartFX, follow them, because we keep, as I said, that, as a SmartFX, we focus on educating our client first so that they know what exactly and what happened, because this is something related to money and people get panicked. All right. Anything else, guys? So now if somebody is there and is discussing and talking about rate of interest, I'm certain that you surely know where to go and where to check. Great. So I tried my best to cover most of this session in this 1 hour session about fundamental analysis. I have explained you how does the central bank works, how does the economy works, how you can relate your economy, your forex currency trade with the market, and how you can understand this. Try to implement this on your trading, okay, with managing, but obviously with managing your risk, or managing your equity, and try to analyze and do it, and I'm sure and definitely that it will be in your favor. So I think most of the questions have been answered and I don't see questions coming in, so I assume that everything is cleared and answered. Okay. Hope to see you all soon. I will end my session here now, and I'll come up with the next session which will help you to understand and make it easy for you, which will help you to understand and go ahead with your trading. Also, all the details, my colleague has already shared the details here of a company. We are in Business Bay, all right, in Bay Square. Feel free, you can walk in and you can check. We are always there to assist you, all right. Contact number is mentioned. We have a YouTube channel, we have a social media channel. So please feel free to connect with us at any point of time if you need any details about Forex. All right. Till then, everybody take care. Have a lovely weekend and good night and bye.